Welcome to Reflections, the podcast that biblically encourages, equips, and empowers women for apostolic life and service. Here's your host, Dr. Cindy Miller.
Okay, welcome to Let's Talk. Today you're listening to Quick Chats with Friends, which is just something that we decided to do while we're here at General Conference. It's the 79th General Conference in Long Beach, California. And with me is my co-host and really good buddy, Jennie Russell. My name is Cindy Miller, and I am your host. And if you're watching this, I have this 20-pound microphone sitting on my lap, and it's causing me to lean to the left. And I feel like I'm going to topple over at any second here.
I don't think they realize how heavy.
No, they don't. We're so happy to have Lorraine Orozco here. And we'll have more about her bio in the notes section. But I first knew her years ago as an author, and then I had the privilege of having her at the graduate school as a student, and now I think we're just in the friendship zone, right?
Yes, this is a nice place.
Yeah,
it's
just really good. We can chat back and forth and share things, and it's really lovely. So part of being my friend is saying yes to all my crazy ideas. So thank God I have friends that I text at the last minute and say, oh, you're at conference, come over and be with me. But let's get started. We're talking about why women need other women in their lives, the importance of friendship. So Lorraine, talk to us about the important friendships in your life and the impact that it's had on you.
Well, some of the friendships that I think that really stand out to me in my life when I'm looking back is probably some of the people that I went to school with. And talking about Urshan Graduate School, as you were one of my professors and Sister Russell is the executive vice president. I'm just thinking about those relationships still to this day. Even though I graduated 5 years ago, and even when I went to Bible college back in the day in Jackson College of Ministries, 20 years ago, has passed, and I was at the reunion with them in April, and we were all like in our early 20s, and now we're pushing in our 40s. And
well, you still look like you're in your early 20s.
Thank you. I will go with that. But just like thinking about how sweet those friendships are, because we bonded over this very similarity of ministry, of love for God, of love for one another, and we spent so much time packed in sardines on a campus, and it just made such an impact in my life. And so when I think about friendships, I think about those, and I have many friends that I have met in church conferences, but those have been the ones that have been anchored me, have been so foundational in my life that I still to this day look towards and look back at. And so that is kind of where my friendship, when I think about friendship, that's where my mind goes, is my time at school.
Well, what are some of the traits that, when you think about having a good friend, what are the traits, when you think across that Bible college, graduate school, the people that you have these long time friendships with, what are those traits that held you?
I think some of those traits, first of all, is loyalty, is knowing that they would be there for you, and trust. I think that trustworthiness, it can fall apart in 1 second, and it takes so long to rebuild. But once you have a friendship with somebody that you know that you can trust, I can say anything to you and I'm not going to worry that it's going to get back to me. And that is the scariest thing. But knowing that they are trustworthy and they are loyal to you. And then another thing, I think that coming back to it, I mentioned my friends from graduate school, is that they pray for you, and that they love you and pray for you and have your best interest at heart and want the God things for you. And for me, those two things of being loyal and really having that, you know what, I'm going to pray for you. I don't have anything else to say to you today, my friend, but I'm going to go to God and I'm going to ask him on your behalf. And you may not be able to say anything, but to me, that's everything. My friend is praying for me.
Right.
My friend is there for me and prays for me. And I think those are the two top things that I think that make a friendship, and one that will stand the test of time.
Well, and I think that it kind of goes into, we're talking about not only how to have friends, but how to be a friend. And so as we go through numerous quick chats and or even original podcasts on the subject, and we're talking about traits that are important. Oh my word, there's a bug in my face. I'm so sorry, ladies. But we talk about that. It's really important that you're reflective to go, am I that kind of person? Like, am I loyal? Do I pray for the people that I claim to be a friend to? Am I going to hold confidence? So I think this is a time we need to not only say, wow, I want that in a friend, but to ask the question, can I be that in a friend? I want to ask you this question, because I know these quick chats are just that, a quick chat. So, it's a lot of work to find someone, connect with someone, be a friend with someone. That takes a lot of work. So building the friendship, maintaining the friendship. What do you think some of the biggest challenges women face in forming and maintaining these long-term relationships or friendships?
I really think that when it comes to maintaining a relationship in a friendship, we all get busy. We all have lives. We all have things that we're doing. And I think it's just important to realize, you know what, I really need to talk to my friend because, they have been there for me and I want to reciprocate that. Like, I want to be that friend. And I think about Gottman's bid for affection, bid for relationship, bid for that. When somebody is trying to get your attention and calling you and saying, let's hang out. And then you just were like, not responding to that, after a while, they're going to stop calling. They're going to stop wanting to hang out. But knowing that there has to be that balance of like, okay, you know what? My friend called me. I want to make sure, even though I didn't get to see them here, I'm going to make sure that I make the effort. And it really is about making the effort, because long friendships are not going to be long friendships if we are not investing in those friendships and making time for them. But then I think about those friendships that you haven't talked to people for such a long time, and then you talk to them, it's like no time has changed. And it's just because you have invested so much in a certain period of season in life that it's just so easy. So I think, but at the end of the day, it really is about like, am I investing? Am I taking the time? Am I trying to be that person when they're going through a heartache? They've lost somebody. They've lost a parent or a family member. Am I making sure to be that person for them, to check in and just be like, how are you? How can I help you? What can I do to be your friend?
Well, and life's pretty demanding.
Yes.
So we're super busy. Yes. And I have incredible people in my life I love dearly. And then I'll wake up one day and go, oh my word, I have not talked to them in forever. So it is hard. There's a lot of challenges, that we face doing that. So I want to go to the next one. You know what? Let's piggyback off of something that happened in another quick chat. Okay. So we're putting you on the spot here. Okay. All right. It's really good. But in one of our quick chats, we talked about how important it is to have sisters in the body of Christ, but also to have women in our lives that we're friends with, and we have no agenda of like inviting them to church, so we hope to, or no agenda that they've got to become an apostolic. So what are your thoughts about having friends outside of our safe circle of apostolic women?
There's many times when I've heard people say you can't be friends with people that are not in your apostolic circle, but I absolutely disagree, because I feel like it gives us such a great outsider's perspective, to just love somebody, like you said, without agenda. I just love somebody because I want to be their friend and I want to love them. And I would hope that at some time that they would decide that they would follow the Lord. But what if they never do? Right. That's okay, because if all we do is we have this agenda that all we want is for them to come to church and we want to change them. Like, is that really being a friend? Like, I just want to be your friend because I want to change you? That wouldn't even go with somebody who was an apostolic in your circle. Like, I want to change you. No, if anything, you have to let God change them and decide. And if that's the truth, then that's okay. But if not, I'm still going to be your friend. I'm still going to be there. But I think that also gives us a good outside perspective, because if all you have is this little bubble of these friends that are all like-minded, to me, that doesn't benefit you at all, because you're able to see, this may be some problem areas, or this may be this, or I'd never thought of it this way. But you'll never be able to think outside the box or challenge yourself or your mindset if all you're doing is just in this tiny little bubble where everybody basically thinks the same.
I agree. And I don't want to feel like I'm intimidated by, like, if you don't think exactly the way I think. And, professionally, I've met some super incredible women that have made me a better professor, a better counselor. Knowing them has just made me a better person all around. I don't know, Jenny, have you had that experience or your thoughts?
Yeah, no,
You gotta hold the 20 pound.
Oh, that's true. I gotta hold the 20 pound. Well, how about I turn it and you hold it? Okay. No, I agree. I've had some of some of my closest friends when I was younger, I worked a secular job. So I was doing ministry and I had friends in the church. But when I went overseas as an aimer with my husband, some of our closest friends were people that I worked with, and they are the ones who supported me at when I went, like, Christmas time. You know, they don't have church things going on. I guess they were thinking about the friendship, and they sent money. And so I think what you said, Lorraine, is key here. It's about not having agendas. A friendship is about not having agendas. And so I agree with you both on that. I think you can have rich friendships in the church and outside the church. It's not that we're not trying to win them, but I think we're talking about friendships, not evangelism right now.
Right.
So I think we want to qualify to everybody. This is not about evangelism here. We're talking about friendships.
And we do believe in evangelism, and we do believe in being light in darkness. But, you know, light only really shines bright when it's in darkness. And so being there, making ourselves available. But, you know, when Christ came, he loved people.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, us loving people is what's going to make the difference. So we're almost to the end of our quick chat. So I want to ask you this. How can Christian women be better at supporting and lifting each other up rather than competing and comparing?
That's a really good question, because I feel like
That's a good question.
that's a good question. Because, you know, that is such a problem. And you mentioned that we want to support each other, but it's like sometimes that moments of jealousy, of competition. And it feels like sometimes so natural, it just happens, but having to really fight that and be like, you know what, I want what's best for you. I want you to succeed. I want you to grow. And I think it really is about getting at the mindset. And we've heard this said so many times, like, a flower doesn't think about the competition. They just bloom. They just become who they are. And just focusing on, you know, just, I am my own person. They are their own person. We are not. Maybe we may have very many similarities, may have seasons of life that are the same. But if we kind of focus so much on, like, well, you know, she's got this and I don't have this. I think it's just a matter of just understanding and having a perspective and understanding of your own self-awareness of yourself, of just knowing that, you know what, we are all different, but we still have to support each other. And I'm going to love my friend and I'm going to support them no matter what. And it's not about me. It's about how can I show the love of God and love my sister and continue to be friends and grow together, challenge each other and grow together in the Lord. And just, you know, professionally and spiritually in all the ways.
Are there times that are easier, though, than other times not to be competitive?
I think when I'm really insecure, and I think women get competitive when they feel like somebody else is getting an opportunity they don't
have. Absolutely.
You know? So I think if you're feeling competitive, that's really like the red flag. Like, oh my goodness, it's not about my friend having a great opportunity. It's
about me.
You know, something's going on in me that I feel like it's not an opportunity. I'm not winning. I'm not being noticed. And you know, and that's painful. And so we all admit we've all had those moments, right? I mean, absolutely. We've all had those moments where we feel like, when is it going to be my turn? Right. But if we can celebrate each other's wins and be cheerleaders for other women, I believe our day comes, our moment comes. I think God sees us. He knows right where we are, and he knows the moment that we need to step into the light, so to speak. So, Lorraine, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here with you guys.
It's fun. Quick Chats, a part of Let's Talk. We're here at General Conference, and it's really noisy and fun, and we are having a blast. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, work on being a great friend. Bye-bye.
Okay.